This week, I'm taking a look at our RV leaf springs. We noticed on our last trip, actually the last couple trips, that it's been running a little unlevel, sitting a little lower on the passenger side. And I took a few measurements this morning and looked at the leaf springs, and it definitely looks like the leaf springs on this passenger side have flattened out a little bit more than what they are on the driver's side. And that can be due to a couple of things that I've learned. We leave the RV in the backyard parked with this slide out on this side, and I've learned that that is not a good idea to do. It will break down the springs over time. So I'm going to pull a couple of these springs off on this side and replace them today. So I'm not sure if you can see from here, but that is the driver's side, and you can see how the springs still have a nice upward bow to them. And I'm going to go around and show you from the other side what I'm seeing on these springs right here. This one in particular looks like it's really flattened out. Okay, now I'm looking, and we're looking through to the passenger side, and you can see that front spring is pretty flat. Even the back spring is pretty flat. So I'm going to replace both of those, and I may even pick up an extra spring set just to carry as a backup in case we ever have a breakdown on the road. Should be fairly easy to change these. At this point, I'm just taking the U-bolt hanger, the axle hanger, bolts loose. I've got a jack stand underneath the axle so it won't drop too far. Just get all these loose to where I can thumb them off here. This one here is giving me a little hard at the time. All right, I'm gonna put the camera down for a second and finish this up. At this point, I'm just taking the leaf spring bolts loose so I can get the leaf spring out. The front bolt in the front hanger gave me a little bit of grief, a little bit of a hard time. I had to get a little propane torch and heat it up a little bit, but I finally broke it loose and got it out. So I ended up having to put some heat to this bolt, and it's still hot. Had to put a little bit of heat to that one, which was in this hanger. It was pretty much frozen in there, but with a little heat and a little pounding, it came out. All right, so that spring is out. It doesn't look too bad. It looks better off than it did on, but I'm gonna go ahead and replace it while I got it out. And since we're having issues with this side of the trailer, I might see if I can get maybe just one that's a little bit heavier duty. That looks better already. Just thumb these down real quick. I'm going to tighten them yet. I'm not going to tighten everything until I get everything bolted in and in place. There goes the hat. Alright, these are just thumb tight. Now I gotta, let's see. Try to get these in position. Alright, I gotta get another jack to put underneath the axle to jack it in place. Okay, so I've got this one in and I've gotten it tightened down. Now I'm going to move back here. I got to flip these around and put this one into place and get the bolt through here. It's got to come down a little bit. Oh, right about there. I should be able to get it in there. There we go. And that one's in. All right. Tighten it down, and then it needs to have a little bit of play. So then I'm going to back it off just a hair. Just a hair. And after we drive a little while on this, I'll get down here and recheck everything, make sure everything is still good shape. All right, now all I got to do is tighten these up. I'm going to go kind of in a crisscross pattern here. I asked the guy at the trailer shop what the torque should be on these, and he said just tighten them down tight, that they are locking nuts. But I'm going to go ahead. I think they had about 80 foot-pounds on it. I've got it set to 80 right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just see. There's one. There's two. There's three. Okay. That spring has been replaced. I've took some measurements and everything looks to be sitting really good and level now, so I think I'm just going to save this other spring as a spare to carry on the road in case we do have some sort of spring failure. I'll be carrying all the tools I need. I know now what I need to replace one of these fairly easily, so I'd like to have the assurance of having an extra on the road in case we do break a leaf or something. But we're going to test this out this weekend and see how it does and see how it sits once I pull it out and get it on some level pavement and everything. But all the measurements I took right now looks good. So we hope you found this video kind of informative and showing you how to replace the spring on your RV trailer, or any trailer for that matter. Really, it's pretty much the same principle. Fairly simple to do. I mean, actual physical working on it, it was only probably an hour, hour and a half of actual work, maybe 2 hours, because that one bolt was frozen in there and I had to do a little bit of heating and a little bit of pounding to get it out. Not a hard job. If you're mechanically inclined at all, it should be something you could do easily yourself, save some money. All right, so if you're new to our channel, we'd appreciate it if you'd go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Ring that notification bell so you know when we upload a new video, and we will see you guys next week.